Hey guys, so welcome to the second episode of my Q&A answers. Now, I wanted to try and get these in like 2 or 3 episodes at most because there's so many questions and do want to try and get through them all for you guys because you want the answers to them. So if you haven't seen the last episode, just click the link in the description and I'll put them in there. And I'll also put the link to the next episode if there is another one. I'm not sure yet because I don't know if there's many repeats in the questions, because obviously there's no point in answering repeats. So obviously I've got my friend Jack here again because he asked me the questions in the first episode.
Hey, what's up?
You sound so cool.
I know, I'm just like, hey, what's up, Jack here.
Right. So let's just get down to the questions then before you embarrass yourself.
Right. In your time in playing RuneScape, what do you regret most and why, if anything?
That's a tough question. It's a tough one. It's a good one though. I'm not really sure. Like, I know one thing I regret was I went and trained attack on armored zombies, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I wish I did that on Slayer now, because obviously when I got 99 Slayer, I ended up getting like 20 mil combat XPs, and it's like, if I'd trained them up to 99 during Slayer, it would have been more efficient. So that's why people always say, when you ask, how should I get 99 attack? Go and do Slayer. It's always going to be the best, because you're going to be more efficient, you're going to be getting charms, effigies, and obviously combat XP too. So that's one thing I regret, but don't think really that there's much else. Possibly getting too pro at it and spending my life on it.
Too pro.
Yeah, let's carry on. Next question.
Would you ever Skype call and PVM with subs, e.g. Nex 6-man team?
Well, I'm thinking about doing some sort of series with doing bosses with subs. However, I really can't actually think of a way to do it, to pick people. Like, I need a good way to pick people, and I can't just like randomly just go through the comments and message people and be like, do you want to do this with me? I need a good way to do it, and I don't really know. So if you do want to post in the comments how I could do that sort of thing, then please do, but I don't want to do Skype calls because I'd prefer not to give out my Skype information to people. So I'm sorry on that one, guys.
Do you ever get bored of RS?
Sometimes, like this, especially being max, there's sometimes you just think, oh, I don't know what to do, because there is limit. It's not like I can just go and train a skill. Well, I can, just I don't really want to, you know, because it's just a stupid idea to do. But there's only so many bosses, and sometimes I just get a bit bored of doing PVM all the time. I do spend a lot of time dungeoneering, and a lot of the times I'm just AFKing, just talking to people and friends and things. That's what keeps me going. But the only time I get bored is kind of when no one's online, so I'm by myself and I don't know what to do, and no one's on Skype to talk to. That's the kind of times I get bored, but that's it really.
How did you make the majority of your money?
Well, the majority of my money I made from Nex, and well, I always was quite self-sufficient when first training my skills. I got 99 Hunter first, as I said in the last episode, and that made me about decent 40 mil, and that was a good starting block. And then 99 Fishing was not long after, and that made me some decent money. Well, it wasn't obviously that decent nowadays, but I mean, Fishing was, it still gave me like 15-20 mil. I also got 99 Thieving, which gave me about 10 mil in Scepters, and the money just kept adding up. And I was quite self-sufficient. Whenever I trained a skill, I tried to make sure I didn't do it in an expensive way. I kind of got all the supplies myself to make sure I'd lost no money. And I then got 99 rune crafting, and that made me in about like 40 to 50 mil doing ZMI, and it all added up. I just gradually got to a decent cash stack of a decent bank of like 100 to 200 mil, and that's pretty much. And then not long after, I started going to bosses like Bandos, and obviously I've said in previous videos I camped Bandos up for a long time and made a lot of money, and this pretty much paid for my skills. But as my bank, obviously they all went on skills, I didn't have the money anymore, and my bank was about 100 to 200 mil still, because I just kept all that money. And then pretty much Nex came out, and I started going to Nex, and from there I've made an absolute fortune. And in the first few weeks I LS'd the Virtus body, which sold for about 750 mil, so from that point I've been, if what people would probably classify as rich. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, we got one that quite a few people that asked it. How do you stay concentrated on tough skills like runecrafting and agility?
Well, lots of people ask this all the time, and it's a hard one to answer because it's different for every person really. You just got to do things that keep you occupied at the same time. If you enjoy talking to your friends, then do that at the same time. Just get Skype if you haven't got it, and speak to friends on there. And obviously, people always say just listen to music, but it's important. If you do enjoy music, always put music on if you're not talking to friends. It's just common sense, things like that. But also try to do, if you're not doing something like that takes too much attention, try to do other things at the same time. Like if you're doing mining, play another game on your browser at the same time while you mine, because mining's AFK. You don't want to just sit and stare at your character hitting a rock with a pickaxe. Just it'd be rather boring, wouldn't it, Jeff?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to try and do things that'll keep you preoccupied at the same time, so take your mind off it.
Yeah.
And also thinking of the final goal as well, what you're actually doing it for. If you really want a max cape or that 99 agility cape, that's what you got to think of. Will you be happy once you get it?
And if so, do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Where is your accent from?
I can't believe people can't distinguish this.
I've seen quite a few comments.
Everyone knows where I'm from, I swear. But yeah, I'm from Newcastle in England, which is, if you don't know where that is, if you're like not in England, it's northeast England, and the accent is a Geordie accent, if you see people call that, and it's quite a distinguishable accent. I mean, everyone in England will recognise it. So,
in Dungeoneering, what is your fastest keying time?
it's about just a little bit over 10 minutes. If like, I've always spent loads of time trying to get it under 10 minutes one floor, and it just won't happen. Something constantly goes slightly wrong, and it just pisses me off. But just never had the nice enough floor while I've been suiciding with 4 other suiciders. And obviously you can get them sort of types of leeches and shit, but I'm not that good. I'd say I'm decent, but I would go as far as saying I'm good. Don't want to get big-headed about it. I obviously I'm not. I make mistakes in Dungeoneering, as does everyone.
Yeah, well, there won't be Kieren soon. So.
Yeah, King's gone soon.
Yeah.
And then even you could be as good as me.
Yeah, like when we duoed. Oh,
that was the best.
If Pernix and Vertus got really long dong flaps, what would you do?
Who asked this one?
Chicken dinner eyes.
I don't know where it is on the page. I can't find it, but that's a good
It's
question.
like 3 questions up.
I would quit. Pretty much. No, I wouldn't. Of course, I wouldn't quit. But I'd be like, "What the fuck, Jagex?" I mean, they're giving it. It wouldn't even surprise me. That's the funny thing. But
It's a bit of a troll.
I'm a bit obsessed with it. There's like, just a mod called Mod Dung Flap.
Long dong flap.
Pretty much. And he's clearly
Spam
this. He's
update.
clearly this like executive as well.
Why do you like maths?
Why do you like maths?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm good at it. I don't know really what else so much to say.
People say that about.
Yeah, if you're good at something, then you like it, and that's with most things, really, because you generally enjoy it if you can do well at it, because it feels good when you do well at it. And maths is very useful. I mean, it's quite interesting, like seeing the things you can do with it. And obviously, if you're not good at it, it's hard to see them things because you don't understand it. And if you do understand it, you can see the benefits of it, and you can see that's why it's interesting. And obviously, I like astrophysics as well, and that's because I understand quite a lot of that, and I find it really interesting, like the crazy things that go on out there. And if you do understand it, you'll know what I'm going on about. I like to just think about things in the universe and things. It sounds really nerdy, but that's kind of why it's interesting. Yeah, it is quite interesting when you think how it, like, what's the word I'm looking for? How tiny we are in comparison to everything else.
Insignificant.
That's the one. Jacked out the ball with his dictionary.
Right, would you ever add a guide for money making for really low level players?
Add a guide for money making for low level players.
Yeah.
Is it? I've had a few requests for money making guides, and it's quite tough to make one. But I have made a farming run guide for herbs, and that is very good money. And you can do varying herbs at low levels and high levels. You don't exactly need high combat levels to do herb runs. You just might not be able to do all the patches, but you can make decent money from doing herb runs. So I recommend doing that and checking out that guide if you want to. And well, not really for lower levels, but I'll probably be doing a money making guide for killing skeletal wyverns, which I guess could also be a slayer guide because it's a slayer task too. But I should be doing that possibly tomorrow. I'm not sure. Maybe next week. And I guess that's not for low combat levels, but it's hard to find low combat level money making methods for a guide, because it's just tough to find one that's good enough for a guide, and a lot of it is just experiment with things, look in the G, find things that you can buy and change into other things and make profit with, something you can do pretty easily. And for low levels, there's things like collecting items, like you can go and collect snake grass and things. And I'm sure the botanique's going to be soon. They've been talking about the next botanique, and I think it's called Optimus, and yeah, Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
See where they got it from.
Exactly so.
I can't remember what the last one was called. Cluster Flutter. Fucking weirdest names I've ever heard of in my life, but
Yeah, I don't know where they get those.
it's just crazy J-mods. The next botanique should be soon, and things like collecting snapegrass will go up, and anyone can collect snapegrass. You don't need any combat or skills to pick up snapegrass. There's many items that you can actually pick up, and I don't really think the warranty guide and money making guide is something I've looked at making, and yeah, I possibly will do one eventually.
Okay, we'll move on. How would you feel if they made a new skill? This one has 47 thumbs up.
A new skill. I would love a new skill. I can't wait. You know, when Dungeoneering came out, it wasn't too long after summoning, but when Dungeoneering came out, there wasn't too many max players. I mean, there was quite a lot, but compared to now, like if you go on the high level forum, there's I know you can't exactly just go on the high level forum
casually.
There's a thread on the high level forum called the Elite, and this thread lists all the names that have access to the high level forum, hence everyone that is got all 99s, and there's a lot. I think it's about nearly 4,500 now, and to think that many people have 99s, and I don't like how they call it maxed, because it's not max. Max is 120 Dungeoneering, and I just like how it's called the max cape for all 99s. Now, I'm not saying 99s isn't an achievement, but it shouldn't be called max cape, because max means max. You can't go any higher than max, basically. But
I think if they didn't introduce Dungeoneering, though, there wouldn't be as many max players at all, because obviously maxing helps Dungeoneering so much that it just gives you that extra incentive to do it.
Yeah, having the extra skills really does speed up your flow. I mean, if you've got only like one person with 99 and a certain skill, it's very annoying. And I mean, back in the day when I first started Dungeoneering, you'd get a door that's like 99 agility, and no one would have it, and it'd be like, oh, for God's sake. And you just wouldn't be able to finish that side of the map. You could almost finish the floor, but yeah, maxing itself, I mean, there's so many, but the fact there's so many now, like 4,500 people would need to max this new skill. It would be one epic race to max it, and it'd give me something to do. I mean, there's obviously some skills I didn't like training, but overall maxing, I didn't hate it. It's kind of, obviously doing it your first time is a bit different, but if you were maxing a second time, then it'd probably be a bit repetitive. But doing a new skill is always fun. I mean,
Yeah.
Especially the fact that no one's done it before, getting to level 80 and being like in the first 100 people or something to get there, it'd be really interesting to, because you'd have to figure out the training techniques yourself. It's not like you can just go on YouTube, how to get sailing to 99, because no one would know how. And it wouldn't even surprise me if it was sailing, to be honest, because I imagine it would be a decent skill. And the amount of people that went on about it, this probably gives Jagex little suggestions in the end. But
Yeah,
as the funniest skills, I'm not really sure what it could be otherwise. It's hard to think of something because there's so much in RuneScape already.
Yeah, we've quite covered quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll go to the next question. What are your thoughts on staking/gambling?
Well, I don't mind staking because pretty much it's official. Jagex, obviously, it's kept in official, like, you know what I mean? It's not trust trading. Basically, you put your money into the system and Jagex keep it until one of you wins. And to me, that's fair enough. If people want to go and gamble like that, fair enough. But dicing and flower games and all that crap, that can just... I don't want to hate on people that do it, but like that host, because I can see exactly why the host are making an absolute fortune out of it. But it's the fact that it's not official. If Jagex made it official, but they'd have to remove the element of making money for the host. But I guess Jagex like to have some sort of gambling in game, like with staking. So that's not really... It's up to you if you want to go and do it. No one else makes a difference. But dicing, I find, trust trading people, the amount of people that have been scammed by it, it's just... I don't like it. I've never done it and I never will. I've done staking before, but haven't really done too much of it, and I prefer to just PVM for money. But
I remember the other
hope
day, I just logged on and I did 100k hot and cold bet because I'd never done it before, and they actually scammed me for the 100k. It's like, it's 100k, come on.
So sad. But what's funny about the Screen of Fortune is saying it's not gambling because you're guaranteed an item. Well then, can you do dicing if you're guaranteed a 1 GP back if you lose? That's not gambling then, is it? That's my view.
According to Jack-X.
It's true though. Then they can't remove dice if people did that. But yeah, let's carry on. We're making not much progress with these questions here.
Right, do you accept donations?
Nope. I've been offered a few donations so far, and I've always said no. I don't want to accept donations of people because the simple fact that it's not playing the game properly. It's taking advantage out of my position on YouTube to get like further in the game. I prefer to just make the money myself. It gives me more of a feeling of achievement, and just being rich for making YouTube videos I wouldn't like to do.
What awkward and funny moments have you had in RuneScape?
Awkward and funny moments?
Yeah.
You put me on the spot now. That's hard. That's a hard question. It's like my maths exam.
It's like, oh no.
God damn it. I literally can't think of one. Awkward. It's hard to think of an awkward moment with RuneScape. How can something be awkward?
There's probably quite a few funny ones.
I think one funny one was when the first time I did go to Chaos Drogers with my friend. We were really newbie. We just did one trip, and we had coin share on in case we got a pickaxe. And we both assumed like a hand cannon would coin share split, and then I LS'd the hand cannon. It didn't coin share split, and back then it was like 200k, but I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, it didn't coin share split. I was just laughing so hard. I don't know why, but
yes,
I was so happy. The fact it didn't coin share split, it was all mine. I was like, oh, good fight. But yeah,
I remember when
CoinShare
and LootShare first came out, and people just thought people were hacking because they had like LSP. No one knew about it, so they're like, oh my god, hack!
It's a weird system.
It is. Okay, what do you think about Nomad? And do you think Jagex will make a new quest about him soon? And would you like that kind of quest as well?
I don't think the series is ended. There's still more to come, obviously, from the storyline. But Jagex always seems to do one quest, wait 5 years, then do the next quest in the storyline. Elf quest. And the Nomad quest itself, Nomad's Requiem, I didn't enjoy. I thought it was just a crap quest. It was the second Grandmaster quest, because obviously the first one was Wild Gothic Sleeps, and that was a complete epic long quest. Lots of puzzles, really questy, and then there was the final boss that was quite tough, really. And
yeah, quite tough for me. Oh my god.
What?
Lost an AGS.
What, Nomad's Requiem? Yeah. I was on about Wild Gothic Sleeps though. Noob.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we'll get Wild Gothic Sleeps was decent. And then Nomad's Requiem, the quest was crap. I mean, you pretty much did no puzzles. You just killed a decaying avatar, which took 7 years if you messed up on the vine things. And then you had Nomad, which I actually did first time. I was about 114, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just took AGS as my weapon, and it was the fight to the death. I mean, seriously. I was 15 HP. Now this was all HP, but that he could one hit that, and he was red barred, and I got 50% spec. AGS spec'd him for the KO, and he could have one hit me. It was so tense. Just got it in time. But as for quests like that, I don't really enjoy it. It was like the Tazar quest recently. It was just combat, and that's not a quest to me. That's just a fight, and I don't like that sort of quest.
Can you make a Dungeoneering guide?
Well,
how to do large floors.
And how to do large floors. Well, I have started some Dungeoneering guides, pretty much, but I've only done 2 episodes so far. That is pretty much some of the basics of Dungeoneering and like the language people talk in Dungeoneering, like the little abbreviations people use, because I know a lot of people don't understand them if they've never used them before, and I don't want the embarrassment of asking, what does that mean? And really, I am starting to make progress through I am going to make more Dungeoneering guides, and I kind of want to wait till the update now because they're doing a decently sizable change to Dungeoneering, so I kind of want to wait till that before I start doing more guides. But I'm going to do guides on the large bosses and also puzzles, because I know a lot of people don't know how to do them, and then I should go into the guide of how to do the actual floor and to make it as fast as you can, like starting the floor and doing other things. It's quite hard, I think, to make a guide on, but I'm going to try my best.
If you can remember, what was your very first rare drop in RuneScape?
It was rare drop.
I guess that means just like boss drop.
Well, the first drop I got was a Bander's chestplate, and it was with you, Jack, I think.
Oh, I don't remember that, but
it was like your second trip to Bander's, and we got it first kill 4 man or 5 man or something.
like
And it was like a 3 mil, yeah, something like that, 3 or 4 mil split or something.
The good old days.
Yeah, that was fun. We were like all 115 to 120 combat.
Yeah. You didn't get crashed back then though, because that was like standard Bandos.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best. Most people were around that level. I think that was my first Bando's chestplate. Not 100% sure.
Alright, we've kind of... While you're killing a boss for the answer section of this video, can you show your face in the top corner? But I guess we can expand that. Would you ever do that for a different video?
Too late now, isn't it? Well, possibly, but I'm not really sure on that one. I mean, if I'm doing a boss and that sort of thing, that's probably something more interesting to do. If there's a lot of requests for that sort of thing, then I'll possibly do it. But I'm a bit nervous about showing myself for the first time before I do it, you know. I know like RuneShock were nervous before they did their IRL, but they have barely done any IRLs, but they have done some.
Can you make longer videos if possible?
I'm already making long videos.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's 22 minutes so far. We're not done yet. But yeah, I've got quite a lot of long videos. I mean, I've had quite a few 30-minute videos. But what would you want of a longer video? If I get requests for some things that could be longer, then I do them. Just generally, I do a video to the length it needs to be. Like, there's no point in making a guide an hour when it can be summed up in 20 minutes.
Alright. Do you IRL friends know you play RuneScape?
Most of them do. And no one really is bothered by it. And I don't think anyone really should be bothered about telling their real life friends. I mean, they're gonna think, "What the fuck?" when you just say, "I've got something to tell you," and they're gonna be like, "What have you done? What have you done? Have you assassinated your brother?" "No, I played RuneScape," and then, that's when people will think you're weird. But
yeah. If it ever comes up casually in conversation.
Yeah, if it comes up casually in conversation, you're like, "Oh yeah, I played RuneScape." Why would it matter? It's just a game. It's just no difference to playing like Call of Duty or something. Just people like different games. That's simple as that. I don't see why people should be embarrassed about it. I mean, Jagex is a shit company and they mess you around and people probably look down on the game itself. But if your opinion is that you like the game, why should other people care?
I know you see a lot of hate for graphics, but they've updated that a lot now, so there's not really too much they can hate on it. Well, we can, but people who haven't played the game can't.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your favourite thing to do off of RS?
Think about RS. I don't know. As I said in the last video, people asked like what other games I play, and I said Mario Kart and Guitar Hero. Really, if I'm not playing RS, the favourite thing to do is possibly that sort of thing. I do watch quite a few series like on TV. Like, I watch Chuck, I watch Big Bang Theory, The Apprentice, and things like that. I do watch. So they're possibly things I do in my spare time and that I enjoy to do. But I also spend a lot of time talking to friends.
What do your parents think about RS?
They're like, well, they just think you do like one thing. They're just like, why you gotta fish 72k lobsters? And they're like, how can you enjoy that? But it's like, there's so much more to it, isn't there? I mean, and then they're like, what, you're farming carrots? Is that all you do?
They won't really understand unless...
Yeah, it's hard to understand unless they play it. I don't understand why they'd think that. Because obviously to get 80 fishing or something, you got to spend a lot of time fishing, but they don't really understand the game, so... But they think it's weird. They don't understand how someone can spend like hours and hours on it. Because it's just one game, but they don't understand like the complexity of it and how large the game is to complete. If you count it as completing it.
Alright, how big is your vagina?
What? What? Jack, you know this. You can answer this question for me.
No one's meant to know.
It's a secret, guys. I can't tell you this one. It's a private question.
This is more of an advice question. What are the best monsters to kill when charm hunting?
when charm hunting. Well, the best thing obviously to do is Slayer, but everyone knows this.
And they said aside from Slayer.
Aside from Slayer, well, Slayer. If you're gonna do Slayer, then great. But aside from Slayer, if you want to camp monsters for charms, now I recommend possibly Water Fiends. They are great for Crimson charms, and for Water Fiends you need a crush weapon, such as a Chaotic Maul or a Zamorak Spear. Then there's Rock Lobsters. Now these cost a lot because you've got an Ice Burst or Barrage or whatever you want to do, or whatever your mage level can tell you to do. And then aside from that, there's bosses obviously. Now if you've got good LSP, or you want to do a lot of Corp and possibly get some money and camp there for a while, now Corp, well, you will get some decent charms over time. It's not too fast, but you get 13 charms in one drop. TDs are very good for soloing because you can do them at a pretty low level, as long as you've done Wildgiffic Sleeps, and they're not too hard to kill. And you'll get 3 charms each kill, and you'll drop an awful lot of blues and crimsons. And obviously you will make some money in the process, like claws. And then you've got glaciers as well, which drop also 3 and drop blues and crimsons is probably even more commonly than TDs do. So there's a few more creatures, but I can't rename them off the top of my head. But they're pretty much your best ones. And obviously Slayer is the other one to do, but even though you said aside from Slayer.
Okay. There's quite a few. If you could go back to RS 2007, would you do so?
Well, I only started in RS 2007. I've never experienced RS 2007 as a high level player, but I don't think I would. I mean, obviously there's a lot of disadvantages in there, there's a lot of advantages there, but it's not like I was PK'd back then, so I can't exactly use the wilderness as a reason. But I was never a high level player, and if I had like a max account back then, I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, there was no bosses back then really. I think God Wars had just come out it came out in 2007, I think, God Wars. But they were pretty much the only 4 bosses. I mean, there was Calfight Queen and the other lower level bosses, but how often do I go to them now? There's very few limited things to do as a high level player back then, so I guess I don't think I would. I can see the advantages to it, and I'd like the community back then. I would like the GE to disappear. Like, I know a lot of people would be like, what the fuck? And back then, people interacted. Like, if you went to a bank, like into Varrock Bank, it'd be packed of people just saying, buying this, selling this. It was a great community back then. You had to interact with everyone.
Problem is, you spent so much time just spamming.
Yeah, that was part of the game. I mean, you'd go to World 2 Falador Park, and it'd be an absolute spam fest of auto typers for people trying to sell the D-buns. But you could choose your price as well. If you wanted to sell something a bit... just like, I'm just dying.
Please don't die, Kieren.
No! If you wanted to sell something for a bit higher, it'd take you a bit longer to sell it. But if you wanted to sell it a bit higher, you just stand there for longer.
Great.
You could merch a lot easier. It's proper merching rather than abusing the GE of what you can do now.
I made my first 10 mil doing that.
Yeah, it was a great money making method, and I mean, it was more like a marketplace. You could bargain and try and get better prices, sort of thing. I preferred it back then. Obviously it did waste a lot of time, and getting quest items was the only nuisance of it.
Yeah. Okay. James, Simon, or Bourne?
Nah, come on guys, you can't make me choose. If they watch this video, they're gonna be like, I hate you now. I can't really choose, but they're all great guys, and I all enjoy speaking to all of them. I mean, there's countless times I've had great conversations with them on Skype while just playing RuneScape. It's always fun to chat to them, but I can't really choose my favourite. I probably do have a favourite, but I'm not gonna tell everyone.
No, you're just like living on the edge.
Yeah, I can't just give it away to them. They'd think, oh, you dick.
What are you playing at?
Yeah.
If RS was to close down tomorrow, what would be your first reaction?
Be right back jumping off a cliff.
Well, next question.
Yep, next one.
What's the update you most despise?
Yes, this week's update. It's probably true, to be honest. This week's update is the worst one I've ever experienced in RuneScape. Now, I was on RuneScape while I did the wilderness removal, but I was a bit aggrieved at that at first. I wasn't too bothered. I mean, I liked RuneScape with restricted trade. It wasn't too bad of a game, and I mean, there was no bots. There's no reason to bot, other than people just using it to level their accounts, and bots weren't very advanced because no one really made them because they weren't exactly too needed. I kind of liked RuneScape back then, so it didn't really bother me that wilderness removal. But the Squeal of Fortune buying spins has to be the worst update ever. It's really gonna kill the game possibly if Jagex carry on, and I hope they do remove it and take attention to the feedback, because they only have to take one look at the forum to see the absolute barrage of abuse they are getting for it, and surely that gives them warning signs that they need to remove it, otherwise it's going to kill the game. But as for other updates that I hated, can't really think of another one. There's updates you dislike, but I've never really hated an update too much. The refer a friend thing, obviously, I didn't like that either. And that, I'd say that's pretty much it.
Would you do a series of the Rune Sharks?
Well, possibly. I mean, I'd love to do a series of the Rune Sharks, but obviously they're doing a lot of series already. I mean, they've got an awful lot of series going at the minute, and if I think of a good series to do with them, then possibly I will. And if once they finish the Godson set from scratch, which they are almost there, they just need that Sora Hill, then probably will start a new series, and possibly I'll do one with them then. And we'll see on that one, but I'd love to.
Okay. What is your favourite thing to do on RuneScape, and your favourite thing about video making?
Favourite thing to do? Favourite thing to do is just, it's probably not even playing RuneScape, it's probably talking to friends. I mean, that's what's so good about RuneScape. I mean, if you played this game without the interaction of other players, and the G was just buying items of Jagex, it'd be shit.
Yeah,
it really would.
I mean, community-based game.
Yeah, it's a community-based game, and if you didn't have players to interact with, it'd be crap. And making good friends and making nice people is the best thing about it. I mean, that's what I like about RuneScape. As for video making, the fact that you're helping people is what I like. When you get positive comments and you see a video and it's like, wow, I just got 200 likes for that video, and it's just like, that's what feels so good. The fact like I'm helping people, that's what's so great. And I don't think there's much else to say. That is the best thing when you get positive comments.
Are you gay?
Yeah, with you, Jack.
Shh. Come on, you're just giving away our whole life story here, Kieren.
Oh, sorry, Jack. I forgot you were still like half in the closet. No, I'm not gay. I'm straight. Sorry if you were interested.
How do you feel about all 120 skills?
I can see the advantages to it, but I wouldn't enjoy it because I'd feel forced to get 120 agility and stuff like that. I mean, I can see the advantage to it, but I wouldn't want to go and train them, and obviously for complicate they'd kind of have to be a requirement, wouldn't it? But it's ridiculous to force everyone to get 104 mil in every skill. It's a bit over the top.
It'd kind of be like starting RS again though, because
yeah, possibly if they just add an extra cape for getting 104, like the 120 done cape, and add a special cape for each of the skills, but that's it. Just add a little cosmetic reward.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I can see the advantages, like, because you'll be able to do more with the skills, that sort of thing, but I kind of wouldn't like that for the reason that I've just said.
Do you think RS will eventually get less popular if Jagex keeps updating the game so much?
Well, if you keep updating this game so much, like, it depends what the update is. I mean, when they're doing the content updates like they do every week, that's not going to kill the game. That's just going to improve it, if anything. But it's the updates like the Squeal of Fortune and the Refer a Friend is going to kill the game. Like, the numbers of people playing RuneScape has already dramatically fallen. And I remember in 2007 when I started, I remember them making a news post saying, "We've just reached 1 million members." And if you go on the high scores and go to the last page, you can see how many members they are now, because obviously the high scores is only members. And it is a lot less. I mean, I think it's about 600,000. So it is less, and it's declining most of the time. It's the updates like Squeal of Fortune that is killing the game. I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends have already quit because of it. And it needs to be sorted. They need to stop doing these updates, and to keep the game alive, they need to make good game updates that make people want to play the game, not updates that put people off playing the game. Why did you laugh before you started reading the question? I'm worried.
I don't understand what it's
I'm worried now.
it's nothing bad. Right. Do you think when a new area is released with new required armor and everything? Question mark. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I get the idea of the question though. I think he means when. Well, yeah. Obviously, we
Maybe it's
can't.
like the new elf area or something.
Yeah, we can't tell when it'll be released, anything like that, because Giants give nothing away about time-based releases because they always let us down. So they get sick of the hate they get when they do fail to match the meet a time restriction. But I'd kind of hope soon. I think the elf area by this year, whether it'll be new armors and stuff, who knows. But obviously we'll play our own ports, which will give us new armors this year. And the Eastern lands have always been hinted at a few times, but I don't think we'll be seeing them soon. But when the Eastern lands comes, that'll be a massive new area, and that'll be a huge update. And looking forward to that. But don't expect it anytime soon. It'll possibly be a year or two, maybe more.
Alright, how you doing?
What?
How are you doing?
Why'd you say that in a really weird accent?
You know Joey from Friends? And he's like, how are you doing?
Oh, I've never really watched Friends though.
Oh, you're missing out.
Probably. Not that they're going to make any more. Well,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thanks.
That's good. How old are you?
I have just turned 19 in mid-March, which everyone seems to know when my birthday is since we did the birthday event. Yeah, I've just turned 19. I guess there's not much to say about that question.
What got you into playing RuneScape?
What got me into playing RuneScape? Well, it was just friends in real life. A lot of friends, like back then, I'm sure you probably had it too in most of your schools, and everyone played RuneScape. Like a lot of people did play RuneScape. I mean, back then RuneScape was really popular, and the fact that all my friends were playing it, they just asked me to start, so I started. We were all really low at combat, like we were like free to players most of the time, and then a few of us got members, and then a few people quit, and it gradually decreased the numbers of play. But I think there's only like a couple of my IRL friends playing now, but they all quit and restart and quit and restart all the time. I'm the only one who really got serious about playing and carried on playing the whole time. But I think that's really how I started. But I don't know how I really got too much into it. I mean, I just guess I didn't play too much at the start. I just played like possibly an hour a day max, and then I just guess I got gradually more addicted as everyone does.
They turn into all-nighters.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's done an all-nighter at some point on RuneScape.
Yeah. Do you like mudcaps?
Yep, it's a great Pokemon. Great question too.
Oh, is Simon really an elf stripper?
Really an elf stripper? Oh yeah. I mean, you shouldn't see him when he's not on video. I mean, he's wild elf stripping. He strips so many elves. You need 6 hands to count how many he does an hour.
Oh my god.
Work that out. 6 hands, right? 6 times 5. That's 30 elves an hour. That is pretty impressive. I mean, that's why he gets the title elf stripper, because I mean, 30 elves. That's damn. Most people do that in a lifetime.
Can you live stream Guitar Hero online? I just realised I read out my own question.
That's your own question. Well done, Jack.
I was like, oh, that's me. Alright.
No. Good fight.
It'd be beast. Okay. Was Fairytales your first account?
This account is my only account, and it always has been my only account. I've never made like a pure or anything, and this is the first one I signed up with. Obviously it's not the username I had from the start, and I'm not going to say my original username for security purposes, but this is always the account I've always used. Never had another account, never seen a reason to make another account.
What's your favourite drop to get from a boss monster?
A what?
What's your favourite drop to get from a boss monster?
Favourite drop to get from a boss monster? I guess it's the rare. It's hard to choose a specific drop, but it's generally the rarest drops I like getting. Now, obviously, in the past, it's always been like the most valuable drop, like Pernix Body or Divine Sigil. I've never had a Divine Sigil from co-op anyway, but I wouldn't really say it's Pernix Body now. I'd probably say it's like the really rare ones, like the Draconic Visage. When you get like stuff like that, and then a Dragon Full Helm, they're really, really rare drops. And when you get them, they're the best feelings. When you get something you actually got really lucky to get it. That's what I like to get. Hope that answers your question good enough.
Will you ever start live streaming on YouTube?
Well, I have got live streaming software now, and I've had the feature enabled on YouTube for a few weeks. But do give me some ideas for live stream events, because I do want to do them, and possibly do one a week on a certain day instead of a video for that day. That's the sort of thing I want to do, but I need some ideas for live streams before I go and do them. So please just give me suggestions for it before, because without suggestions I don't know what to do on a live stream. I've got some ideas, but I haven't got around to starting it yet. I need to start testing it out and setting it up and things. But
have you ever played anything in the Berthold Games Room? Is that even in the game anymore?
You know the answer to this question, guy. Come on, this is a waste of time. I spent hours there. No, of course I haven't.
My favourite place to go.
It's dead and always has been since release. So yeah, I've never been. I've been, but I've never used it. Everyone tell you there when they use games, let's tell you.
How quickly do you think you could pick up a RuneScape girl? Quotation marks girl.
Quotation marks girl. Well, I swear the quotation mark girls are much easier to pick up, because they just are. It's just natural, you know. But I don't know. That's a tough time limit on that. I possibly could do it for a challenge Kieren on a Thursday sometime.
That would be quite good.
It would be quite hilarious. See how many I could pick up in 15 minutes. I bet I could pick up more Aura skulls than Simon could strip elves. To be honest, that'd be pretty impressive.
Before Skillcapes came out, did you have the incentive to go for 99s?
I never played before Skillcapes came out. When I started RuneScape, it was January 2007, so never experienced that. So I can't really answer your question. Sorry.
Can you teach me how to Dougie?
What the hell is Dougie?
I think it's a dance.
Well,
I'm expecting an IRL vid of this, Kieren.
I don't know what a Dougie is.
You're gonna have to learn.
I'm gonna have to learn and make a guide on how to Dougie.
Yeah.
Of course.
Who's your favourite Hunger Games tribute?
Hunger Games tribute. I don't know the names. That's the problem.
Oh, I guess we'll have to move on.
Yeah, I have seen it obviously, but I'd probably say the main character. I'd probably say is my favourite. Not that I know her name, which I really should, since it's the main character. I haven't read the books yet. When I read the books, I'll know the names. But
What is your favourite ice cream flavour?
just plain vanilla, I guess. I hate it when you get chocolate ice cream. It gets a bit sickly, and strawberry ice cream, that's a bit sickly too. But vanilla's perfect. I can sit and eat vanilla ice cream all day long.
Cookie dough ice cream as well.
Oh, that's nice as well, but that's different. That's a topping, Jack. Get your life sorted out.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I can see the end of the question.
Oh, that's impressive. So, guys, we're up to 43 minutes now, but there's no point in splitting this up into another 2 episodes. Just going to finish it in this one. So, right. Next question.
Jump. Which skill do you hate most in RS, and which do you like most?
Like most is Dungeoneering, to be honest, because it's such a different skill. It's fun to do. And then most hated is probably agility or mining, possibly. Not too sure, but agility and mining for the most hated. Not runecrafting, which most people.
Right, this is the last question by Matt74012011.
Last question. Oh, what a cool name! I mean, how do you remember that?
Who knows?
Impressive.
Right, if you could change one update, what would it be? How and why?
If you could, I would change Screen of Fortune to not exist because it's shit. That's one. Change one update. This is hard to think. Next, right? What I'd do to next, I'd make it so the phases for the randomized. Now, currently, obviously, you have the smoke phase, then the shadow, then blood, then ice, then Zaros. Now, the Zaros phase I think should be last anyway, but the other 4 phases, the main ones with the minions, should be randomised. So sometimes it starts with ice phase, sometimes it starts with blood. You get the idea. And I think that'd be pretty interesting to do something like that, rather than making it straightforward, same exact order that every kill. So hope that's a good choice there.
And that is the end of the questions.
So that's the last one. Yay! So I got through
Good
them.
effort,
So
Kieren.
that was like quite intense answering all them questions. So guys,
It
I
was.
hope you enjoyed like all them questions and the question and answer. If I've missed any of your questions, I'm sorry, but I can't answer them all because there's so many, and I have tried to answer most of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and sorry this one's a bit long, but I did get a request for longer videos, so
May as well.
this is one for you. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll probably be doing another video at night for the challenge, Kieren. So look forward to that. See you later.